What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I wanted to share with you some powerful lessons that I learned a while back when I first got my mentor. I had my first real paid mentor. One of the lessons that I really needed to learn, I'm going to share with you today. It was such a powerful lesson for me because I thought I had my mind right. I had already read a book a day for 6 years. I had already connected with some higher level people. That was a journey that I was on. I had reached a plateau in my reading, and I knew that I needed some more collaboration. I needed some higher level thinkers, some real thought leaders. And I began to reach out to people. I knew that I was stuck in a position where my actions weren't reaching my ambitions. I knew that there was a feeling inside me, something was missing. Pretty smart guy, but that wasn't the point. That it was just something was amiss. Something wasn't quite right, and I couldn't put a finger on it. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but that can be pretty frustrating. Times like that they can be a real downer. They can drag you down, and they can make the days a little bit longer and harder, and nobody wants to be there, right? What I came to find was that I was working in scarcity. I didn't understand scarcity as well as I do now. I've since done a deep dive, and I connect with people, and we have discussions about that, and we we are learning and we're growing. We're all on a path and a journey, right? So I'm learning about that regularly, but I definitely have dropped the scarcity thinking. Back then, I mean, I recognized that along the way that there was a time when I was shifting and I was changing and I was growing, and I began to see things differently. I'd like to share some of those. That when a person thinks there'll never be enough, and sometimes it's not even that strong of a feeling, that's scarcity. When you're working from scarcity, it doesn't serve you or the people around you, and it's actually seen by those who work from abundance. They actually see it easier. Back when I was in the construction industry, there was a sense that people needed to hold on and hoard the information that they had, and then they gained power that way. And there's still some of that lingering in the world today, not only in the construction industry, but also in very professional organizations. There's an old style thinking. Some people maneuver from that space, and it doesn't serve them, and it certainly doesn't serve you. Anybody who's hoarding their information, they're hoarding their knowledge, who won't share their knowledge, is not helping others. People who are suspicious of others, those cynics, often are working from a scarcity mindset. Those types of things can be really hurtful to you and to them. People who are afraid of being replaced, people who believe times are tough, people who are really thinking that things are contracting or shrinking rather than things that are growing. Those are types of thinking that don't serve you. The reality is this. Let me throw this on the table. This is what I've come to find, and this was after hard searching and some really banging my head against the wall and smashing my head a few times. I mean, I'm just really authentic. I would rather be honest with you. I had to smash my face against the wall a number of times until I learned some of these lessons. Those things don't come, they don't come from love. They come from fear. Anytime we're maneuvering from fear rather than a place of love, a place of abundance, we're not serving ourselves. I would encourage you to think within, to really deep dive yourself and ask yourself if you're feeling some frustration, why that might be. Frustration and pain is just an indicator of change. Like wind is to the weather, pain is an indicator that something needs to give, something needs to change. That's it. So I would encourage you to really think from abundance. So a person who's abundant shares their knowledge freely. They throw it out to the world. Even in the digital internet space, I see a lot of people hoarding their knowledge, thinking that they're going to wait for the right time. I know that all too well because I was one of those people. I wanted to write a book, for example, and I wanted to make it perfect and have all the information complete before I began to put it out into the world. And I learned that is not the greatest way to go about things, to put some of those nuggets, make some of those blogs, make some of those posts, connect with people. Yes, it's a people world. Connect with people. So yes, it's that when you share your knowledge, you begin to connect with people in a deeper way. That's abundance. Someone who freely offers help to other people. Yes, our time is valuable. So there is that's where it begins to get complicated. See, my love is free, but my time is not. That's where it becomes complicated, but it's really not as complicated as some would make it. Give things out. That's how people connect with you. That's how they get to know, like, and trust you. And that is what builds business. That's how you attract customers. So freely give some things away from your heart, from love, because that's how we expand. Someone who trusts and builds support and rapport. Those things are huge. I walked for years and years and years without deep connections in my life. I can't tell you, it would take me hours, and I love to tell stories on it. They're powerful, but it would take me hours to tell you some of the mistakes I've made because of that. There's a difference between independence and interdependence. If you don't know the difference between those, I would encourage you to do a little bit of research on that. Research is free. Interdependence is much more, you'll gain much more synergy out of that in a group setting, teamwork and all of that. When you work interdependently, it's much more healthy. It's much more vibrant. It's a beautiful place to be. Abundance also welcomes competition. I don't even really see competition as much anymore. I look to my left and look to my right a little bit just to see where people are, but I don't really care about what people are doing. I'm on an intentional path. I would encourage you to just welcome the competition. There's plenty to go around in the world. And when you adopt that thinking, you begin to see in a brand new way. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Strive to grow. Growth is natural. Does anybody stop and ask a tree why it's growing? Does a tree ask a tree why it's growing? It grows to its maximum capacity based on the nutrients in the soil, based on what it's given, the sun, the rain. It grows naturally. And I would encourage you to grow naturally as well. Grow fully into your brilliance naturally. Don't stunt your own growth by not giving yourself the nutrients that you need, both in health and in wealth. Someone working from abundance believes that the best is yet to come. Yes, we all come across hard times. I have certainly had a number of them. I like to say that I come from the school of hard knocks. But that also there's beauty in that because I also have tons of stories and lessons that I can offer to the world. I didn't always look at it that way, but I do now. The best is yet to come. Somebody that works from abundance really believes that the pie or the pizza is growing. It's not shrinking, it's growing, that there is more out there. And they think big and they embrace risk. Risk is such a positive thing. I would encourage you to dive into risk. Risk can be really, really, really positive. Now we want to make smart risks, and there are ways to do that. Maybe I'll do a video on that too. But to think into risk, embrace it. Embrace your growth. Stretch out of your comfort zones and begin to grow. And working from abundance is someone who takes ownership of their change within. If you don't change within, you'll go without. So I really want to just put a positive video out there, encourage you to step out of scarcity and step into abundance. It will truly change your life. Begin to connect with people at a deep level. I hope this video serves you, and I look forward to connecting with you more in the near future. Thanks for joining me on this video today. Peace.